What's happening with Ukraine and Russia right now feels like a plot twist from a political thriller, doesn't it? One moment, we're dealing with drones and sanctions. The next, long-range missiles are being approved, and Trump is shouting World War III. So what's going on, and why does it feel like we're teetering on the edge of chaos? Let's break it down together. The big decision: long-range missiles. Recently, President Joe Biden authorized Ukraine to use US-provided long-range missiles, and this decision has shaken the political world like a snow globe. What does this mean? Well, Ukraine can now target Russian positions deep within its territory, including in areas like Kursk, where over 50,000 Russian troops, yes, including 10,000 North Korean SAR, stationed. Here's the kicker. No, not that kind of kicker. Ukrainian forces already reclaimed some Russian territories earlier this year. This new move gives them an even bigger edge, but it's also raising eyebrows and tempers in Washington and beyond. Republican Congressman Michael Waltz didn't mince words. He called this decision another step up the escalation ladder. Rick Grenell, Trump's former intelligence chief, tweeted that Biden's actions feel like starting a whole new war during a transition period. So what is the mood? Tense. World War III is coming. If there's one thing Trump knows how to do, it's grab attention. His allies are already smearing Biden's decision as a dangerous gamble. And Donald Trump Jr. went full throttle on social media, accusing Biden of feeding the military-industrial complex while risking millions of lives. Dramatic, right? But he's not alone in thinking this move might push us closer to global conflict. Even Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene chimed in, calling it an America Last decision. She reminded everyone that just weeks ago, voters delivered what she described as a clear mandate against such risky moves. She's basically saying, Biden, read the room. Why is Biden doing this now? This is where things get complicated. Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner, while in Brazil, suggested that Russia's escalation, like bringing in North Korean troops, forced the US to respond. But why now, during a lame duck period before Trump officially steps in? Critics are calling it reckless, with some, like Representative Thomas Massie, labeling it an unconstitutional act of war. That's a serious accusation. And then there's the tech angle. Ukraine has been using drones for strikes, but these long-range missiles, ATACMS, a whole different beast. These mobile-launched missiles can hit targets up to 190 miles away, making them a potential game-changer on the battlefield. Putin's response, adding fuel to the fire. Let's not forget Vladimir Putin in all this. If anyone knows how to throw shade, it's him. Through his spokesperson, Dmitry Peskov, Putin accused the US of adding fuel to the fire with this decision. According to him, this isn't just about helping Ukraine, it's a direct challenge to Russia. Putin has warned before that giving Ukraine the ability to strike deep into Russian territory would essentially make the US and NATO participants in the war. And now, he's probably flipping through his How to Respond to Provocations playbook. Is this really about Trump? Well, some analysts think Biden's decision isn't just about Ukraine or Russia, it's about Trump. Rebecca Koffler, a former intelligence officer, suggested this might be a trial balloon to disrupt Trump's incoming administration. She believes Putin will see this move as confirmation that the US wants to weaken Russia at all costs. If that's true, it puts Trump in a tricky spot. He's promised to end the war quickly, but if Putin doesn't trust the US anymore, those negotiations might look more like a staring contest than a peace deal. What's next for Ukraine? For Ukraine, this decision is both a blessing and a challenge. President Zelensky has been asking for these missiles for months, and some members of Congress say Biden should have approved them earlier. But others worry it's a step too far, risking not just Ukrainian lives, but potentially dragging the US deeper into the conflict. Ukraine's military has already been dealing with massive Russian missile and drone attacks, with over 200 in one of the largest assaults this month alone. These new missiles might help level the playing field, but they also raise the stakes. Is the US prepared for the fallout? Here's where it gets even murkier. Some US contractors are already on the ground in Ukraine, helping maintain American weapons systems. This support is critical, but it's also a big flashing sign that says, we're involved. Putin has argued that allowing Ukraine to use these advanced systems essentially makes NATO a co-combatant. And honestly, he's not entirely wrong. These systems aren't plug and play. They need expertise to operate effectively, and that expertise often comes from NATO countries. What does this mean for the rest of us? Let's be real, when world leaders start tossing around terms like escalation and World War III, it's hard not to feel a little uneasy. These decisions aren't just headlines, they have real consequences for everyone. What if Putin retaliates? What if other countries, like China or Iran, decide to get involved? And where does this leave the average American, who's already dealing with inflation, gas prices, and everything else life throws our way? Trump's peace promise. Trump's message is clear. He believes he can end this conflict quickly. Whether you love him or hate him, you have to admit that's a bold promise. But how? That's the million-dollar question. Some think Trump might push for aggressive peace talks, using his art of the deal approach. Others worry his unpredictability could make things worse. Either way, his stance has put Biden's actions under a microscope. So, where does this leave us? On the edge, honestly. Biden's decision to approve long-range missiles has sent shockwaves through politics, and Trump's warnings about World War III are adding fuel to an already raging fire. For now, all we can do is watch, wait, and hope cooler heads prevail. But one thing's for sure, this is a moment that could shape the future not just for Ukraine and Russia, but for the entire world. So that's the wrap-up. What do you think? Is this the right move, or is it too risky? Let us know because, let's face it, this is something we all need to talk about. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on stories that matter to you.